6:37, President Obama called on Congress to end the political circus and jumpstart the economy. In a speech to members of the bitterly divided House and Senate, the president outlined a $447 billion plan to sweeten the payroll tax cut for workers and extend it to small business owners. President Obama's plan also includes more jobs for teachers, construction workers, and the long-term unemployed. Just listen to what the president had to say.
Regardless of the arguments we've had in the past, regardless of the arguments we will have in the future, this plan is the right thing to do right now. You should pass it. And I intend to take that message to every corner of this country.
You can see it. That speech was a real high-stakes moment for the president, who struck a more conciliatory tone than during that debt-ceiling debate and debacle. House Speaker John Boehner said President Obama's proposal merits consideration. And joining us now with more on what the president's speech means for all of us is political science professor at Hunter College, Jamie Chandler. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You heard the speech last night. Your reaction?
I think the president did well in terms of his energy level and getting his base rallied up, particularly the liberal Democrats as well as unions, who have been kind of upset with him as of late.
But the real question is, can President Obama get Congress to pass this new American Jobs Act?
I'd say it's about a 50-50 likelihood that the bill will be passed, particularly in that the Republicans are focused on the presidential election right now, and they don't want to distract themselves from that.
Well, he was very forceful. He basically said, if Congress can't pass it, he kind of struck the tone of like Harry Truman when in 1948, the do-nothing Congress. He was kind of striking that very, very aggressive tone. Your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got two choices here. He can either push it through Congress and have it passed as a regular bill, or he can attach it to the deficit reduction plan, which is going to be coming out of the super committee in a couple weeks.
That is true.
However, that wouldn't pass until late December.
Okay, and that is just too late because the American public is just waiting and watching and wants something done. So the strategy was clear to get Americans back to work. Explain it. He's taking money from Medicare and he's taking money from Social Security to pay for this $450 million bill?
Right. It's actually half of what the savings that came out of the July debt limit debates were going to be. So he's going to be cutting some of the social programs, but also offsetting that with cuts in a number of regulatory rules, which goes, you think about last week when he didn't push the environmental regulations, those all have an associated cost. And he's tasked the super committee with coming up with more cuts. Do
you think the American people are happy with what they heard? Because it feels like it's like a little brother stimulus plan that we had back in 2009, really.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
The dollar amount isn't so much.
The dollar amount isn't so much, but I think the same problems will come up, is particularly in that how do you distribute this money? During the stimulus of 2009, a lot of money was wasted.
A lot of money was wasted, and a lot of Americans were fed up with that waste and that pork, and everybody saw it. All right, the speech is going to give the president's approval rating a boost. What kind of boost do you see?
I see in the short term about 5 to 7%, but it's not going to be something that will be sustained.
All right, thank you so much, Jamie Chandler from Hunter College, for coming in.